What's the secret to making the best enchiladas? I have a few tips that will take yours to the next level. I'm Christina from It Is a Keeper. I share tried and true recipes that anyone can make. I believe if you can read, you can cook. Today I'm showing you how to make my son's favorite sour cream enchiladas. He can't seem to get enough of these. Now make sure you stay tuned to the end to learn my favorite tips and tricks for making these even better. And be sure to grab the full printable recipe in the video description below. Okay, so the first thing we need to do for our sour cream chicken enchiladas is we need to get some onions going in a pan. So here I just have a skillet over medium-high heat. I'm going to add some olive oil to that. And I have it pretty hot, so I'm going to add my onions right in. This recipe is all about building flavor. So we're just gonna let these cook until they turn translucent and soften up a bit. Okay, so our onions look good. They're nice and translucent. They've softened up a bit. We don't want them to get any color on them. We just want them nice and light, just like this. So to our pan now, we're going to add our chicken. So I've gone ahead and I've cooked some chicken and just shredded it up. And I love to use my stand mixer to shred chicken. So I just roast the chicken breasts, throw them in the stand mixer and let them do all the work. You could use rotisserie chicken for this, leftover chicken, whatever floats your boat. You just need about a pound of cooked chicken. So we'll get all of that in there. And then we need to season this up a bit, right? This is kind of bland, so I'm going to add a little bit of taco seasoning. So I've used my own blend, which I will share the link in the show notes so you can grab that. Okay, this is looking good. It's warmed up a bit. I'm going to turn the burner off, and next we're going to start rolling up our enchiladas. Okay, so the next step in our enchiladas is to actually roll up the enchiladas. So here's one of my tips for you. I love to use, I've only found them in the ChiChi's brand, but it's a mix of a corn and flour tortilla. So I like the texture of the flour tortilla, but I love the flavor of the corn. So this is like the perfect marriage of the two. You get both flavors, both textures in one tortilla. So I love this brand. Use whatever you like. Like flour, use flour. You like corn, use corn. It's your choice. Next tip is to char your tortillas. This will take the flavor to the nth degree. Really, all I did was just laid them on top of my gas stove and then quickly flip them just to get a little bit of that char flavor on there. It adds so much extra flavor and takes maybe about a minute and a half to do. So it really doesn't add that much on. If you don't have a gas stove, you could just do it in a skillet. That would work just fine. You just want to get a little bit of brownness on there and really kick up that flavor. Okay, so we have our tortillas here. I'm just going to slide these to the side, and I'm working on this plate here. So I'm gonna put one tortilla down, and I like to start with cheese. So here I have some shredded Colby Jack cheese. I'm just gonna put a little bit of layer, and I do it off to the side a little bit so it makes it easier to roll. And then I found that a hearty quarter scoop works great for this recipe. So this is a quarter cup scoop right down the middle, nice hearty full one. And then we are just going to tuck and roll, and then right into our casserole dish. And then I'm just gonna repeat this 7 more times. Tuck and roll. And you wanna make sure you're placing them seam side down in the baking dish. That will keep them from unraveling as they bake. Okay, so that is our final enchilada. If you have any stuff left, right on top. Okay, now for the sauce. Quick and simple. We're gonna start by making a roux. I'm just using the same skillet I did my chicken in. You can still see the chicken pieces and onion in there. Perfectly fine. We've already built flavor up in there. Why not use it? So we're gonna add this butter and let this melt. And like I said, we're making a roux here. So butter and flour. Okay, so our butter is melted. Now we're going to add some all-purpose flour to the skillet, and it's going to make a paste. This is what's going to thicken up our sauce. So we're going to just mix that around about a minute or so, nice and smooth. There might be a few lumps because remember we still had some chicken and onion pieces in there, and that's okay. Okay, that's looking good. Now we're going to slowly add in some chicken stock. I gotta switch hands here. And I'm just mixing just to eliminate lumps. I do it a little bit at a time. All right. We're just gonna let this hang out, kind of do its thing. All right, so we have a nice little simmer going here. So to this, I'm going to add 2 seasonings. Now my chicken stock was unseasoned. It was no sodium added. So I'm going to add a bit of my all-purpose seasoning blend just to give it a little salt. And then again, some more of that taco seasoning. So in she goes. Get that whisked in. All right, we're going to turn the heat off. And we're going to add in the star of the show, which is the sour cream. And then the residual heat from the pan is just going to help that sour cream melt right into our sauce. Ooh, that's looking good. Adds lots of richness and a little bit of tang. All right, this is looking great. Last thing to add is some diced green chilies. So here I just have a can of 4 ounces of diced green chilies. It's gonna add a bit of a kick. If you don't want a kick, leave them out. That's perfectly fine. All right, and that's it for our sauce. That was super simple. Okay, almost ready to get these bad boys in the oven. We just gotta finish them off here. So I'm going to take our big pot of sauce and we're just going to pour it right over these enchiladas. Let it ooze down the sides and around. Get every last bit out. Okay, last step, cheese. More of that Colby Jack cheese shredded. I bought the pre-shredded stuff. You can easily shred it yourself. It will melt nicer if you shred it yourself. It doesn't have those anti-caking agents in it that keep the pre-shredded cheese from melting nicely. Okay, this looks good. We are going to pop these in the oven. We're gonna bake them for about 15-20 minutes until the insides get all warm and ooey gooey, and then we're digging in. Okay, so here are our baked enchiladas, all done. Yum! I wish you could smell these. I'll tell you, my son has great taste. This smells amazing. But before we dig in, let me share some tips for making these enchiladas even better. First, you can swap out the chicken for ground beef or go meatless and use pinto beans. This is also a great freezer-friendly recipe. I usually make a double batch and freeze them for a quick meal another time. Okay, it is time to dig into these, but before I do, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of chopped cilantro. So I'm just gonna cut through this cheese layer here. Look at that. Okay, here we go. These are flipping amazing. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe how good these are. My son really does have some good taste because these sour cream chicken enchiladas are definitely a keeper. There are so many great enchilada recipes out there. My ground beef enchiladas are one of the most popular videos on my channel. You don't want to miss it. You can check it out here. I'll see you there.